Hi guys, this week we'll be moving on to a new topic that we will complete before the summer holidays. The new topic we'll be looking at is reproduction. In this topic we'll move on from the reproductive system that we learned about in S2 and start to look into further detail at the actual cellular process of reproduction. We only have one learning intention this week. The learning intention this week is to learn about the cells involved in reproduction and the chromosomes present in these cells. Thinking back to S1 and S2 biology, you'll remember So every cell in the body contains two sets of these chromosomes. So if every cell in the body contains two sets of chromosomes, I'd like us to think, where do these sets come from? When we're conceived, we receive one set of chromosomes from mum and one set of chromosomes from dad. This is the reason that somebody might say that a baby has its mum's eyes or its dad's nose. So to recap that so far, every normal body cell contains two matching sets of chromosomes. If the cell contains two matching sets of chromosomes, we get that special name, and that name that we give the cell is a diploid cell. Every normal body cell contains two sets of chromosomes. Again, we get one set from mum and one set from dad. These body cells can be found in most parts of the body and can include muscle cells, nerve cells, and skin cells. Every single one of these cells contains those two sets of chromosomes. While most cells contain two sets of chromosomes, there are some exceptions, and in this case we're going to look at two of them. The first exception is a sex cell. Sex cells in animals can be either a sperm cell or an egg cell. And if you remember back to specialised cells, you'll remember these. But these sex cells only contain one set of chromosomes. And if a cell only contains one set of chromosomes, we don't call it diploid, instead we call it haploid. The second exception to this is a red blood cell. If you remember specialised cells again, red blood cells have several adaptations, one of which is that they have no nucleus. So think about what we've already learned about chromosomes. Where are chromosomes found? Chromosomes are found in the nucleus. The red blood cell does not have a nucleus, so that means that there's no chromosomes present at all. So in summary, if a cell contains two sets of chromosomes, again we get one set from mum, one set from dad, we call this a diploid cell. If a cell contains only one set of chromosomes, a sex cell in this instance, we call this a haploid cell. Sex cells are often called a gamete, and this is how we'll refer to them from now on. Depending on the organism, gametes can be different cells. So in an animal, the male gamete is called a sperm cell, and the female gamete is called an egg cell. But look at the plant, however. In a plant, the male gamete is called pollen, and the female gamete is called an ovule. We must be able to state where gametes, or these sex cells, are produced in both plant and animal cells. So we'll look at plants first. In plants, pollen, the male gamete, or the male sex cell, is made in a part of the plant called the anther. The ovule, which is the female gamete, or the female sex cell, is made in a part of the plant called the ovaries. In this diagram, you can see labelled the male and female gamete, as well as where they are produced. So we have the male gamete and the female gamete. The male gamete is produced in the anther, and the female gamete is produced in the ovary. The male gamete produced in the anther is called pollen, and the female gamete produced in the ovary is called ovule. While plants can produce both male and female gametes in the same organism, animals require males and females to produce the male and female gametes. The male gamete is called a sperm cell, and it's made in the testes, labelled in this slide. The female gamete is called an egg cell, and is produced in the ovaries, and again you can see this labelled here. So to summarise, this week we wanted to learn about the cells involved in reproduction and the chromosomes present in these cells. We've learned that if a cell contains two sets of chromosomes, it is called a diploid cell. If a cell contains only one set of chromosomes, we call it a haploid cell. We then introduced this new word for a sex cell called a gamete. We've learned that male gametes are called sperm cells in animals and pollen in plants. The sperm cell is produced in the testes, and the pollen is produced at the anther. We then looked at the female gametes and have learned that the female gamete is called an egg cell in animals and an ovule in plants. And both of these are produced at a structure called the ovary. There are 3 different revision materials for you to use this week. Your summary notes are available in the assignment, and you should use pages 4 and 5 for this section. There will be links to BBC Bitesize posted to the assignment. And finally, there are a set of Study Stack flashcards available this week. You can find instructions on how to open these in the PowerPoint and the assignment details. This week, we have 2 assessment materials for you to complete as usual. The first are revision questions for you to download and complete. And the same as every other week, if you cannot download them, if you cannot complete them online, simply write your answers on a sheet of paper and email me a photograph of your answers. Second, you'll have a reproduction quiz posted on Teams, and this won't be posted until Thursday, and we'll expect it to be completed for Friday. Once you've completed this, you must submit it to make sure that we see that you've completed your work. Please let me know if you're having any trouble accessing documents in Teams, and once again, thank you for listening. Have a good week.